Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I want to take you guys through just an overall first impressions of the newly revamped ScentWorx candles. If you are not familiar, ScentWorx falls under the same umbrella as HomeWorx candles and AromaWorks candles. So yes, these have recently been revamped, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys my honest opinions about this revamp here. However, before we get into it, I do want to be very upfront with you and just let you know that I was gifted these candles courtesy of Rakuten & Co. So I did not pay for them. If you're not familiar, I am a Rakuten & Co. ambassador or affiliate, and that does mean from time to time they will send me some product, and I'm basically allowed to share my honest thoughts and opinions here on my channel regarding those products. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of the relationship. However, so now that you guys are aware of that, let's go ahead and let's get into my personal first impressions of these candles. I will let you know that I have not actually stuck my nose into any of these. So not only am I going to be talking about the revamp that we have here in terms of packaging, I'm also going to be talking about my first sniff impressions. As always, I will be doing post-burn reviews of all 5 of these candles here once I reach at least the halfway point. So if you're not already subscribed and you're interested in my post-burn reviews of these candles, make sure that you're subscribed. That way these post-burn reviews will pop up in your subscription feed. So if you're interested in purchasing ScentWorx candles, you can find them on the Rakuten & Co. website. Because I am an affiliate, I do have a discount code with them. If you're interested in purchasing from the website, you can use that code to save 15% off of your purchase of $40 or more. Or if you prefer to smell your candles in person prior to purchasing, these are now on the shelves at, I believe, most Walmart stores. Now, my local Walmart store did not have them on the shelves yet about a month ago, which was the last time that I popped into Walmart. I was actually specifically looking for these. Now, my store is chronically understaffed, so I have a feeling that that might be the reason why these have not been placed on the shelves at my store, at least a month ago. But if you especially live in an area where you have a larger Walmart, I'm sure these are going to be on the shelves at your local store. So make sure you check them out there if you are interested. The beauty of these being sold at Walmart is that if you want them, you can actually go and stick your nose in these and see if the fragrance appeals to you or not. I do understand that for a lot of people, it can be very difficult to just, look at the fragrance notes online and kind of visualize what that scent is going to smell like. Even with in-depth reviews, there are people out there who just have a hard time imagining what something smells like unless they are actually able to experience it themselves. So if you are one of those people, pop into your local Walmart and you can check out the entire line there. I do think that ScentWorx did a pretty good job of providing a wide range of fragrances. I was really fortunate in that Rakuten & Co. actually allowed me to pick the 5 fragrances that I'm maybe most comfortable with, or the ones that appeal to me the most. So being a gourmand and vanilla lover, I went ahead and selected 5 fragrances in the gourmand and vanilla category here. But if you are interested in fresh fragrances or fruity scents, there are also lots of choices for that as well. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with just discussing the revamped packaging here. I do definitely have some somewhat strong feelings about the packaging, so let's get into it. All right, first things first. These candles are, they still have the octagonal shape, which is what the ScentWorx candles had originally. If you never saw the original ScentWorx candles, like I said, the octagonal shape was the same, but I feel like the glass that the ScentWorx candles used to come in was it felt like a more elevated, like higher end type of glass. It was very thick, and that I think really helped those ScentWorx candles pull out pretty quickly and effectively. The glass now is definitely not nearly as thick as you can see here. It's not the same as it was. Also, the glass is shorter now, and we now have this lip at the top, which honestly I don't love. I really enjoyed the just wide opening that the ScentWorx candles had. I feel like that definitely helped not only with the aesthetics of the look of the candles, but I also think it helped the fragrance to dissipate a little bit more easily out of the vessel, if that makes sense. With this new design here, you have this lip at the top, and then obviously the candle, you know, goes in here. So we went from having a nice wide opening here to something that's a little bit more restricted, as you can see. Also, the candles used to have a beautiful glass lid. We now have this metal lid. If you are familiar with the HomeWorx candles, this material is the same material that they use for the lids for the HomeWorx candles now. And you already know my opinion about the changeover from the lids. I didn't love it. I think that the lids that used to come with the HomeWorx candles were just a lot more maybe expensive looking. They just felt more substantial, and I think they again elevated the look of the HomeWorx candles. Now for me, being a long time purchaser of HomeWorx candles specifically, I started with the brand when they launched over on QVC back in I think it was 2017. So I have a lot of these lids still on hand. I just started keeping them as I saw the new lids rolling out. So I have a nice back stash of those tougher metal lids. But yeah, this is that same material. All of the lids are white, so very uniform look. The only thing that differentiates the candles is obviously the color of the wax and then the label on the front, but there's no more colored glass. There's no more glass lid. One thing I will say for this lid, however, is that it does seem to secure a lot more securely onto the top of the candle. It's almost like there's like a click that happens, and you can actually hold these candles up now by the lid. I wouldn't recommend it. You should definitely not hold your candles that way. But if you were to accidentally grab it like this and pick it up, there's not that fear of the candle just, you know, plopping down onto the ground and shattering into pieces. The gasket that was on the old HomeWorx glass lids definitely did not have this tight of a fit. So I do think that this is definitely an improvement to that, but I don't know, I really preferred the old style of packaging. When I saw this, I was definitely a little bit disappointed when they started, you know, initially kind of rolling out the release of this revamp here. I just think the older packaging looked a little bit more expensive. I think it helped the candles pool out very quickly. So I'm not sure why they changed from that packaging to now this packaging, but I don't love it. So listen, you guys, I'm gonna be honest about it. I think that it kind of took away a little bit from having the candles look as elevated as they once did. So all that aside, oh my gosh, this fragrance is hitting me in the nose. I've not actually stuck my nose into any of these, so this is still going to be like a first sniff impressions as well. I really like what I'm smelling here so far, so we'll get into that in a second. But I did just want to let you guys know that for me personally, I think the revamp in packaging was a step down. I honestly really preferred the way that the candles used to look. And here's the thing, I have actually never been much of a ScentWorx person. My love with the Rakuten & Co brand lies predominantly with HomeWorks. I have loved those candles since 2017 and will continue to love them into the future. But ScentWorx was really something that, you know, I bought a few of the candles when they were available at Kohl's and, you know, reviewed them. But they never really gave me the fragrance output that the HomeWorks candles did. And for me, if I'm going to be purchasing a candle, it is as much about the ambiance as it is about the fragrance output. So I like scented candles, and I just find that the HomeWorks, at least in the past, obviously I haven't burned these, it could be different, but in the past, the ScentWorx candles didn't give me the same fragrance output as the HomeWorks candles did. So I never really got into ScentWorx. So yeah, anyway, for what it's worth, I'm not a big fan of the package change here. I do, however, think it was a good decision to make their way into Walmart in terms of accessibility. Most of us have a Walmart, you know, within 10, 15 miles of our house. So if you are, again, someone who prefers to smell your candles in person, you're definitely going to be able to easily do that at your local Walmart. So that part of the change, I think, was a smart decision for the company, and I think it's going to give them a lot more exposure. So definitely not a bad thing there. But in terms of the packaging, I'm not a huge fan. So anyway, I next want to give you guys some first sniff impressions of all of these. So again, I was able to select these 5 fragrances, which is fabulous because I think it's going to be a little bit easier for me to review these since they are all in my wheelhouse. So let's get started with this first one here. So this is the ScentWorx Mango Coconut Macaron. I'm going to give you guys a look at the label here. So you can see that there. We have some macarons off to the side that have a ton of filling in them. Like, these macarons are heartily stuffed. I am a huge fan of macarons, so I was really excited about this particular fragrance. The fragrance notes are listed on the bottom of each candle. By the way, this is the large size. These are available in 2 different sizes. This larger size is 14.5 ounces, and these do come with 3 wicks. So you can see those wicks there. The wicks are very thin. They're pretty tall. I'm not going to trim these wicks prior to the first burn. Typically, I have never done that with any of my Rakuten & Co candles, and that has always been the best decision. So I would not recommend trimming these wicks. If something does change, I will certainly mention that in my weekly home fragrance roundup, as well as the post-burn reviews. But for the most part, I have found that when it comes to the Rakuten & Co candles, leave the wicks as is, light them, and just let them go. They will kind of trim themselves to ideally where they need to be. So anyway, I need to smell this. Okay, definitely a gourmand. And if you're a fan of mango, this is pretty heavy on the mango. So the fragrance notes read mango, coconut cream, pineapple, and vanilla macaron. So do I smell that? Yeah, listen, there is even that like almond note from the cookie part of the macaron. If you've never made macarons, they are made with almond meal, I think it's called. So you get a very strong almond note in here. I don't think it's overpowering, but if you don't like almond, you probably want to skip this one, but you definitely smell that almond note for sure. There is very much a strong mango note in here, and that is the second thing that I really notice. It's not an overly sweet mango. I do think that sometimes mango can be a little bit intense, maybe even cloying. That's not the case with this mango. It's sweet, but it's not like disgustingly or cloyingly sweet at all. I definitely smell some pineapple in here. Now, I kind of wish that they would have not added the pineapple. The pineapple that I typically get in most home fragrance, whether it's from Slatkin candles or Kringle candles or Bath and Body Works or whatever, it usually smells really artificial to my nose. It's rare for me to smell pineapple in any home fragrance products and think, I like that. It just smells really fake usually. And the pineapple that is in here is definitely coming across in that typical pineapple way for me, where I'm just like, I'm not a fan of that. But I do think that having that mango in here, it's more of like a creamy mango versus like a juicy, like just freshly cut mango, if that makes sense. I do think that the mango tones down that pineapple a little bit, but the pineapple is still there. Now, the coconut cream portion, I do actually get a little bit of a creamy coconut in here as well. I actually wish that the coconut cream was maybe a little bit more potent. The mango is still the star of the show. Then it definitely goes into that pineapple. And then after that is when I really start to detect that coconut cream note. This is delicious. It is delicious. I think even with the addition of that pineapple, it is still enjoyable to my nose. My hope is that maybe when I light this, that the mango amps up and the pineapple tones down a little bit more. So we'll see, obviously, but yeah, those are just my first impressions on this particular scent. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, but I'm not giving it 2 thumbs up because of the pineapple in here. So anyway, definitely will be lighting this one up this coming week. I should have at least a couple of days where I should be able to get some solid burns in on these. In terms of the burn, do they have a limit for burn time here? Yeah, so they say no more than 4 hours. So I'm gonna stick to that. Typically, when it comes to candles in general, I do not burn them much beyond 3 hours. Unless it's the Kringle candles. Their soy formulation just allows me to go a little bit longer before, you know, running into issues like sooting or wax discoloration. But with all other candle companies, I keep the burn to roughly between 3.5, 4 hours at the most. So I follow the manufacturer instructions here, and I would encourage you to do so as well. Next, let's take a look at this one. This is s'mores. Personally, a big fan of s'mores. We do have an outdoor fireplace in our backyard here, and during the summer, I just keep s'mores material out on our back table, and pretty much most evenings for my dessert, I will have a s'more. So big fan of s'mores, and I was excited that they had a s'mores fragrance. So let's take a look at the label here. Hopefully that is focusing. I think it is. Okay, so you can see some s'mores on either side there. Let's go ahead and read through the notes first. So we have warm milk chocolate, marshmallow, vanilla cream, and brown sugar. And this is already hitting me in the face, and I have had this like pointing away from me. This is potent. Ooh, a lot of milk chocolate here. This actually smells like you are sticking your nose into a like Hershey's chocolate bar, which is typically what I keep out back. It's definitely the milk chocolate, not dark chocolate from Hershey's. So if you like the smell of Hershey's chocolate bars, you're getting a healthy dose of that in here. I smell like a creamy, it's not quite marshmallow, but it's almost like a whipped cream with just a hint of marshmallow in it. That's the marshmallow portion that I'm getting here. It's really rich. For this being a chocolate scent, it's not overly sweet. It's not overly cloying. Surprisingly, I'm not smelling that brown sugar. The vanilla cream, yeah, I think actually the vanilla cream and the marshmallow kind of blend together in this scent. And I'm not getting any graham cracker, like, you see the graham crackers here, obviously that's how you make a s'more. I'm not getting that graham cracker note at all, but it's also not listed on the bottom. The brown sugar, however, I do not smell brown sugar in here at all. Brown sugar definitely gives off that molasses note to my nose, and I'm not smelling molasses in here at all. So, and the sweetness that I'm getting from the milk chocolate definitely smells just like traditional like white sugar sweetness, if that makes sense. This does not give off any brown sugar to my nose. Now that could change when I am burning this. I will say these wicks, I think they just got coated in wax when the candle was poured, obviously. These wicks are a little bit cleaner in that it doesn't look like the wax you know, hit the wicks at all, but these wicks are brown with the wax from the candle. So but it does, that looks like chocolate, right? It almost looks like Nutella from the top. So definitely not getting any Nutella vibes here, but if you're a solid milk chocolate fan, I think you are going to enjoy this one for sure. I like it. I like it. I'm going to give this 1 thumbs up for the scent. Yeah, I kind of wish that they would have added the graham cracker note in this one, especially if they were going to call it a s'mores fragrance, because I think if most people smelled this, like if they didn't see the label or didn't know the name of the scent, they would stick their nose in this and say, that smells like milk chocolate. I feel like that's what most people would probably think that this fragrance is. It's just a creamy milk chocolate. But once you kind of dive a little bit deeper into the scent, you do definitely pick up that like vanilla cream marshmallow note for sure. So it is there, but it's just not like initially when you stick your nose into it. It's almost like you're opening, like I said, a Hershey's chocolate bar. Let's pick the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. This is Golden Vanilla. So let's take a look at the label. So you can see that label there. So it looks like we have some vanilla bean pods and some, kind of looks like a cherry blossom almost. So yeah, that is what is on the label here. I was really excited to see this particular scent come back into the line because I was a fan of Golden Vanilla back when the ScentWorx candles were still in their older format. I bought this at my local Kohl's, and I wish more than anything that I would have picked up more of this body spray back then before everything went away, because man, do I love this scent. I've been nursing this bottle for a little while here. So the description on the back of this reads, rich vanilla blended with spun sugar and coconut cream. And that is exactly what this is, you guys. This is such a great fragrance. So let's read through the fragrance notes on the newly refined Golden Vanilla here. So this reads vanilla, succulent fig, so there's a little bit of a change there, spun sugar and coconut cream. So some of the same notes and then a little bit of a change. So let's see what it actually smells like. Ooh, okay. Smells almost exactly the same. Very similar to the original. But I do get a little tiny bit. It's not significant. I do get a little tiny bit of fig in this one. It's definitely not a super earthy fig. It's a little bit of a sweeter fig note, but that like sugar note is still very much present. This is a very sweet vanilla. If you're looking for a sweet vanilla, this is your girl here for sure. It's a very sweet vanilla. I smell that delicious coconut cream. It almost smells like the, if you make pina coladas at home and you get the Coco Lopez in the cans, this smells like you are, the coconut note in here smells like you're sticking your nose into a can of that Coco Lopez. Smells so good, perfectly sweet, not cloying at all, at least by my standards. Oh man, this is good. And that like vanilla, like it just is, it's the perfect vanilla, you guys. I don't think this is an overly sweet scent, but I do think there are some people out there who might think otherwise with this one. The spun sugar is very much present in here as it was in the original. But yeah, little addition of that sweet fig definitely changed this one up a little bit, but I don't think it's vastly different. If you loved golden vanilla originally, I think you're also going to like this revamp here. It's a really, I don't know, I like this one. I like this one a lot. Yeah, okay, I'm a fan of this one for sure on cold sniff, so I really hope this one has at least a solid medium strength and throw, because if it does, I will definitely be repurchasing this for sure, because that scent, obviously, I'm a big fan already, so there's that. All right, 2 more. Okay, this is sugar cookie, so let me show you guys the label for sugar cookie. There we go. All right, so our fragrance notes for sugar cookie read vanilla bean, buttercream, spun sugar once again, and sugar crystals. So we've got vanilla, we've got buttercream, which also oftentimes smells like it has some vanilla in it. We've got sugar and more sugar. So I'm expecting this to be quite sweet. I really hope I get an actual cookie note from this one, because man, do I love a sugar cookie. It's probably actually one of my favorite types of cookies. Ooh, okay. It does kind of, it reminds me of the sugar cookie dough that you can buy in the tubes, like from Pillsbury at the grocery store. It almost smells like you just sliced that tube of dough open, and like that smell that wafts up at you before you go to slice those cookies. That's what I smell in this scent. It is quite potent on cold sniff too. Sometimes I do think that vanilla can come across a little bit lighter. This smells really quite potent on cold sniff. Very sweet. So I am getting the cookie note, which I enjoy. It's really sweet. The buttercream actually, I think, smells more like sugar cookie dough than it does buttercream, but the sugar crystals, yes. The spun sugar, yes, you definitely smell that specific spun sugar note as well. And vanilla bean, absolutely. I have really strong opinions about vanilla. I love vanilla in general, but if there is one type of vanilla that I do not like, it's French vanilla. I don't know what it is. I don't like eating French vanilla ice cream. I don't like the smell of French vanilla. I think it's that kind of custardy note that you get with that I just don't really enjoy. This smells like vanilla bean. It's very much vanilla bean, more so like the Breyer's vanilla bean ice cream than a like French vanilla ice cream. So far on cold sniff, I really like this a lot. In fact, these two, they're different, but they do share that spun sugar note as well as the, no, this one does not have a sugar crystal note, but it must be that spun sugar that's kind of tying these two together in my head as I'm smelling them. They're both delicious. They both smell really good. Listen, if you are a vanilla girly, I think you should check both of these out. That's what I just naturally am, and I really am liking these two for sure. Oh, look at this. These have 2 different types of gaskets at the top. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. So this one here, you see the gasket is like this, And with this one here, there's almost these clips on the side that wrap around the candle, and I am about to lose battery. So hold on, I'll return in a second here. And we're back. Thank goodness for backup batteries. All right, so I was talking about the lids and the different gaskets on these. So there is another look there. So this one has these almost like clips towards the outside, whereas this just has this kind of central gasket that goes right over this part of the candle here. So let's test and see which lid fits the tightest. So again, here is the golden vanilla with the clips on the side. This one definitely has a strong hold. And then let's test the sugar cookie. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this gasket here is a lot looser. Don't ever pick your candles up by the lids. I've done that a couple times now, and it has resulted in some toe injuries for me. So when you're grabbing these candles, grab them like this, not from the top, because yeah, I want to see if this next one has, well, that's a tighter fit. Yep, this one has this lid. So interesting, only one has that style of gasket at the top. But anyway, for what it's worth, I really like this sugar cookie scent, and loving the golden vanilla too. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these fragrances here. So the last scent, let's take a look at that. So this is Lemon Blueberry Muffin. Let's take a look at that label. Really pretty blue. Wait, did that focus at all? Let me see here. There we go. Okay, now it's focused. Hopefully that focused before, but just in case it didn't, there's a look at the label there. I will say this color of blue here matches my dining room exactly. If you have ever wondered what the blue paint color behind me is when I film downstairs, either in the dining room or in my formal living room, it is Benjamin Moore Wedgwood Gray, but it's color matched at Sherwin-Williams, and that makes a really big difference. If you want that specific color, have Wedgwood Gray color matched at Sherwin-Williams. Their base paints are two kind of different tones to begin with, and that does affect the end result of the color. I actually personally wish that I would have stuck with the Wedgwood Gray through Benjamin Moore, but anyway, lesson learned there. Just know that the base paints between the different paint companies make a really big difference in the end color. So anyway, this looks like the walls in the downstairs of my house here. So let's go ahead and read through the fragrance notes of this one. So we have fresh baked muffin, lemon zest, ripe blueberry, and sugared glaze. I really hope that this is the same blueberry note that is in Farm Stand Blueberry, because that is hands down one of my favorite blueberry fragrances ever. I love Farm Stand Blueberry, so I hope that I can readily get my hands on some more Farm Stand Blueberry this coming summer, because I think I only have I think I have 2 left, maybe. That's not gonna be enough for this summer. So, all right, let's take a look at this one. Ooh, okay. It's not the same blueberry, but it is a nice blueberry. Lemon, there's a lot of lemon in here. It's a very sweet lemon. It's not cleaner lemon. I was a little nervous about this potentially smelling like Pledge, but it does not smell like Pledge, you guys. It smells like a juicy, sweet, more like maybe Meyer lemon, and you definitely get a little bit of that zest in here as well. There's a good amount of citrus here. I think it balances the blueberry very nicely. This is sweet. It's definitely a gourmand. It's not overly sweet. I definitely feel like I get a muffin note here, or just like a bakery type note for sure. I think if most people had this placed in front of their nose with a blindfold on, I think most people would be like, oh, that smells like a lemon blueberry muffin. It's really accurate. It's oddly accurate. Very authentic. I like this. I like this too. I don't know. Listen, I still, to this day, will say that Harry Slatkin does some of the best gourmands on the market, which is why I've always been so drawn to ScentWorx. Is I feel like ScentWorx cranks out a good amount of gourmand fragrances, which feeds, you know, my love of candles over here. But yeah, when it comes to bakery, Harry really knows what he's doing. I think that that is the fragrance category that he excels at the most. And this right here is a very authentic bakery fragrance. And if you like blueberry, if you like lemon, and if you like that muffin note specifically, you got to check this one out. This is crazy accurate in terms of the fragrance. And really strong too. I gotta say, on cold sniff, I am really impressed with the initial oomph or strength that I'm getting from these. I certainly hope that that carries over into the post-burn experience. Obviously, I'll report back. It's probably gonna take me a couple weeks to get to the halfway point with these, so be patient. I really wanna make sure that I give these a solid test before reporting back to you guys. If you're newer to my channel, one of the most important things to me when it comes to burning candles in my home is that they have a clean burn. I will not burn candles that are sooty or that candles that discolor the wax. I'm not a big fan of that. So for me, if a candle is not going to burn properly, I'm going to immediately relegate it to either underneath my candle lamps, or in the case of this one, I don't imagine that this is going to fit into my candle crocks. The old ScentWorx candles in the like glass jars with the glass lids, those didn't fit into my crocks either. I always had to use my lamp for those if I was looking to melt those candles. So just be aware that this 14.5 ounce size here at least is not gonna fit into a candle crock. The smaller one might, but I don't know that. I don't have any of the smaller sizes, so I can't test that out. But just so you're aware, you're not gonna be able to fit this into a crock. So to just kind of round out this first impressions here, I'm disappointed in the packaging. I think that they should have probably kept the old style of packaging, but I imagine with wanting to keep these candles at an affordable price point for Walmart, they probably were not going to be able to continue to use the old packaging. So I understand that, you know, for that reason, they probably had to find a different vessel to put these candles in. So they kept the same shape, but they took away the colored jars, they took away the glass lids, and now we have a lip here to contend with. So I don't know. I'm gonna burn them. I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions about whether I, you know, like these after the change. As I said before, ScentWorx was never really the Slatkin & Co brand that I got super into the way that I got into ScentWorx. But if these perform well, I will certainly consider trying more of the fragrances, especially since I can just pop into my local Walmart and pick these up. Even if my super close store to my house here doesn't have them, I do have a much larger Walmart that's just down the freeway here, so I can pop into that one. I'm pretty sure those guys have these in stock there. So I like the accessibility factor. I like the price point. I think it's just going to be a matter of, are these going to have a clean burn? And are they at the very least going to give me a solid medium strength and throw? So I'm looking for something in the range of 6, 7, or I don't think they're gonna get to an 8, but somewhere around a 6 or a 7 in terms of strength and throw would be adequate for me personally with my house here. That might not be adequate for you, so you might have to test these in your home to see how they perform. But for me, I'm just gonna start testing these out, and I will report back as I, you know, get to the halfway point, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think. So fragrances, I think they did a really good job. We've got some wonderful gourmands here to choose from. I'm sure the fruity scents are just as lovely. I'm sure the fresh scents are just as lovely. But for me, I'm a gourmand girly, so I'll be testing these out. And like I said, make sure that you're subscribed. If you're interested in my post-burn reviews, you'll start seeing those here within the next couple of weeks. I hope that this first impressions was helpful. A big thank you to Rakuten & Co. for providing these candles for consideration. I appreciate it so much. Like I said, check out the description box if you'd like to read up more about these candles. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.